This is episode 1114, and we are live in Southwest Florida in my studio. If you are joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting this morning. Let me know if you have questions for me. Is that crooked? No, it's not crooked. It's just the angle of the camera. It's just going to be the angle of the camera. Anyway, we're here. We are getting some pretty big storms later today. However, the cell reception seems pretty good so far. My internet seems pretty good so far. So we're going to try to go live. I am not going to schedule any more shows for the rest of the week just in case, because I don't know what the weather is going to present, and don't need to add any more pressure on myself. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of trauma from the last storm and just, lots going on behind the scenes anyway. So if I can upload videos for the rest of the week, I will, but this will be the last live stream this week, so just so everybody knows. Let's see, who is here? Hi, Joe. Hi, Sharon. Good morning. What day is it? Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. If you got a chance, I did release, this is not beer, by the way. This is kombucha. I just thought about that, using an amber bottle first thing in the morning. This is kombucha. It's Mother Kombucha. This is turmeric ginger lemonade. Karen, our beaches aren't open yet because of the mass devastation from Hurricane Ian that came through here a month ago, or 6 weeks ago now. There are no beaches open in my area. I'm not driving to Marco Island. Besides, not only do we have another hurricane coming right now, even the few beaches that are open, you're supposed to wear shoes to protect your feet, and you're not supposed to go in the water because of fecal matter, bacteria, and oil and petroleum in the water. So honestly, I don't think that's safe to breathe, let alone touch. And until I think that it's safe for me personally, I have no intentions of going back to the beach. So I appreciate the suggestion, but I am not putting myself in harm's way to take some photos of the beach. I hope you understand that. Let's see, who else is here? Sharon, Judy, Sandshell, Val, Judy, and Karen, and Chris, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hi, Judy. Hi, Marcia. We have a little visitor now. Yeah, and flesh-eating bacteria. Yeah, we have a lot of issues with the water. We have a lot of issues in the sand. And like I said, very few beaches are open, and I have no intentions of going to them while there's that many issues and that many dangerous things going on there. So, yeah, not to say, to each his own, it's not for me. Hi, Trudy, good morning. I'm sure some of you understand. Hi, Thea. Okay, so I did there's got to be bacteria in the air if there's bacteria in the water, obviously. So I have no intention of breathing the air anywhere near the water. When you go near the beach, you can feel the moisture in the air. You can feel the mist. There's no way I'm doing that. And not to mention that if you have any open cuts on your arms from, scratched off mosquito bites or hives, very, very dangerous. Anyhow, look who's here. We've got a baby Bjorn with us this morning. His pink banky's here, and he's just going to hang out with us. So, what I wanted to say is that I released a different kind of a video this morning. I released a really quick promo video this morning to give you a flavor of what's included in the crochet bundle sale, the Holiday Crochet Bundle. And I know I always share links to blog posts with photos and stuff, but I was kind of curious, did you enjoy, if you only like live streams and you only like tutorials or only like beach videos, I understand. There's something for everybody. However, I wanted to ask, did you enjoy seeing a short promo video like I shared this morning? I wanted to show you what was inside the bundle to give you a nice visual with a short video. And if you enjoy that type of video, I thought I might continue to make them for condensing blog posts to give you a quick visual so you don't have to read a whole blog post first, or maybe to show you a real quick condensed version of what's inside one of my books, or maybe a real quick condensed version of what's included in any given pattern, or what you would want, what you the highlight notes, the cliff notes of what's going to be in something, whether it's a pattern, a promo, an unboxing, a pattern series, a book, in a course. Do you like that style of video, and would you like me to do that more often? Let's see. Short, sweet, and intriguing, Sandshell says, great. Sometimes people get upset when I share videos that aren't what they're expecting of me, and sometimes they can be very helpful. I put a lot of thought into everything that I do, so it's meant with the best of intentions, but I just want to make sure that it's something that you actually do want to see more from me or not. And did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you or didn't you like about it? Hi, Lori. Good morning. And then, having said all that, how cute are the projects in there? So there's a wide variety of projects from 41 different designers, 45 patterns. It's 90% off during the bundle sale, and there's prizes being drawn every day, and the prizes are sponsored by We Crochet. They have big mystery yarn bags that they're giving away and gift cards. And once you've downloaded and you're entered, each day your name rolls over to the following day. So the quicker you order it, the more chances you have to win prizes also. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, there's just such a variety of patterns in there. And when I choose to participate in bundles like this, it's usually because of the aesthetic of the other patterns being different than things that I normally offer you. So I don't focus a whole lot on toys and things like that, even though I love crochet toys. And I thought that there were so many projects in there that are different from the type of projects that I already offer you, that I thought that it seemed like a good complement to the things that I already do. If it was all stuff like I do, then it would be competing with myself, and I didn't think it was. I really thought that there were some things in there that are a completely different aesthetic than the things that I normally do, but still super fun and cool. Like that buffalo plaid pillow with the moose on it. That's just stinking cute, right? I love it. I just love it. So many things. And there's still plenty of time to make handmade gifts too. So it's a great time to get some inspiration for handmade holidays and get started on making some handmade items for the holidays. If that's your interest this time of year, I also have whole books on gift giving. So I have 80 Handmade Gifts book, which has projects in all sorts of mediums. There are food gifts in there, handmade food gifts. There are sewing gifts, card gifts, paper crafts, knitting projects, crochet projects, sewing projects. So if you're like a multi-craft kind of a person, you might really love that book if you don't already have it. And if you already have it, this is just a reminder to pull it out and see if you can get inspired for some holiday gifts. Then I have 52 Crochet Gifts, which is another gift book where everything is really small, things that you can make quickly. And the whole point of that book was to have gifts to make throughout the year, because for me, I don't think the holidays are necessarily the only time to make gifts. There's always a reason to give somebody a gift, whether it's a pick-me-up gift or just to cheer somebody up, or a gift for no reason at all. Aren't those sometimes the best, when you can just surprise someone? You never know when someone might need a little inspiration or a little hug or a little thought to know that someone else cares. It's a crazy world out there, and often because of the way we live nowadays, we all feel alone and we all feel like we're the only one going through something. But the thing is, we all are suffering in one way or the other, and whether we have a smile on our face or not, everybody's going through something. So anytime you can randomly surprise somebody with an act of kindness or a small gift, it's always a good thing. And then there's the holidays too. So 52 Crochet Gifts is a book with multiple chapters, things from jewelry, earrings, scarves, shawls, head warmers, hats, fingerless mitts, all sorts of small projects that can be made quickly for last minute gifts, or things like that. Now, if you really want to speed up handmade holidays, I got something else too. So I released a whole bunch of sample garments this week, whole bunch more sample garments, and some of them have sold, but there's still a lot for sale. And if you've already checked it out from my mailing list earlier this week or what have you, I did release a couple more pieces last night, and don't really have the space in here to pull them all out. I can't get the camera very far away, but you can go to my sample sale on my website, and what I thought I'd do is pull up the photos and show you what's left in the on my iPad. So this is the Bianca knit dress. It can be worn as a tunic and it can be worn as a dress. And I'm not, you know, like we were just talking about that I said, let's see, how do I close that out? I didn't do a little promo video for this one, so I thought to give you a visual, since I know everybody likes visuals, I'd show you what's for sale still. And this is the Bonita Beach knit shawl. Little fun tidbit, this is the very first knit shawl that I designed in Be So Fine Yarn when it came out many years ago. Now on all of the sample sale pages, if you just want inspiration for making them, all of the patterns are linked on these sample sale pages. So you can just make, you can go find the pattern if you want. And if you want the specifications like the dimensions, the fiber content, all that good stuff, click on the pattern link and it'll tell you where they all are too. There's only one of each item. This is the Bubbly Knit Shawl pattern, or the Bubbly Knit Shawl sample. Isn't that beautiful? Who doesn't like a red lace shawl, right? Red lace shawls or hot pink are like two of my go-tos if I were to go somewhere fancy. I don't go anywhere fancy, but if I did, that's probably, you may notice over the years how often I've made shawls in red and hot pink and raspberry, and it's because of Charlie's Angels, the movie. In the final scene, does anybody remember that movie with Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz? In the final scene, when they go to the boyfriend's movie premiere, it's the guy that played Joey on Friends, can't think of his name right now. Anyway, Cameron Diaz wore a black strapless dress with a red crochet shawl with fringe over the top of it. I have been in love with that style ever since that movie came out, and I want to say that came out in 1998, 99, no, it came out in 2000 maybe, came out in 2000, and I've been in love with that ever since. And so I don't go out and do fancy things, but I always want to have a strapless black dress and a red lace shawl just in case, and I always do. I just don't wear them. This is the Catalina crochet headscarf. That one's still for sale. Let's see, what else do we have here? This one was hard to part with. I absolutely love this piece, but that's okay. The Gladys Crochet Shrug sample is still available. That piece looks so pretty on, so beautiful, and that's in a yarn that I hand dyed as well. This is a spectacular baby blanket. How gorgeous is that? That baby blanket is called the Hibiscus Crochet Motif Blanket, and that sample is available. The Honey Pot Crochet Scarf, while it isn't reversible, it is very interesting on both sides of the fabric, makes a great scarf. And then I'm offering the Honey Rose Hat and Cowl set as a set. You can order it in the worsted weight version or in the super bulky weight version. Both are still available, it looks like. Then I have the Isla Morada crochet shawl, which is a half hexagon shape. That one's available. And you know, holiday gift giving is done when you order sample garments, and they're still handmade and still special. Here's the Isabella poncho, that one's still available. And here's the other thing to consider. It's okay to buy them for yourself too. And you may say, and sometimes I say to myself, oh, well, I can't buy something handmade because I could make it, right? That's it's one of the angles we go in when we talk about stuff like that. But here's another angle. What if the project is in a technique that you don't like to make? What if it's in a technique that you don't like? What if it's in a technique that you don't know how to do? What if it's something that takes a long time to make and you don't have the patience for it? What if it's just fun to have something handmade by somebody else? There's all sorts of reasons to buy handmade samples for yourself too. So just saying. This is the Margot short sleeve pullover. That one's available. This one was hard to part with too because it's so pretty, but I'll remake it again. This is the Mary Jane crochet shawl. So beautiful. And it's a really nice, generous size. You could easily corset tie this or add butterfly clips to turn it into a vest or a poncho too. This one's so pretty too. The Nadia knit cowl. So gorgeous. I love those colors. Very mermaidy. If you have a mermaid in your life or a mermaid lover, she will love those colors. This is the Rosemary knit shawl. It's a smaller size. I know sometimes people request smaller sizes for people that are shorter or petite, and so this is a shorter shawl if someone's interested in that. Or you can be my size and still like shorter shawls too. They're great for draping for scarves or wearing over your shoulders like a scarf or a cowl. So great for that as well. And again, you can get these patterns if you'd rather make them. That's fine too. I just wanted to give you a quick visual of what's left of the sample. Yes, supporting other people's art is important too. That's absolutely right, Marcia. If you're going to buy ready to wear stuff for holidays, it's a better idea to buy from a small artist than from a big box store, right? So that's a good point too. This is the Roxy knit cowl. I did the color changing in that by changing the number of strands of each color. That's a real thick, chunky cowl in gorgeous colors. Love this one. Yeah, don't like parting with them, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And this is a beautiful shawl that I designed for a multi-artist book many years ago. It's done in Bruges lace, and I will be remaking this in another yarn and sharing this pattern I don't have on my website right now, but I will make it when I pick a suitable yarn for it. But it is absolutely beautiful. It's done in Bruges lace motifs, and then with a gorgeous edging on it. And the pattern has reverted its rights back to me, so I can release it. So I will make a full tutorial pattern with charts, and I will make a supplemental tutorial video when I pick the right yarn for it, and then release the pattern. In the meantime, here's the original sample, and it is absolutely spectacular. And I guess that's everything that's available right now. So if any of those appeal to you, they are available right now, and I've been shipping everything as quickly as possible so that everybody has time to plan out their holidays and figure out what they want to do. Thank you, Judy. Let's see. I was busy showing and telling, so I wasn't reading the comments. Let's see if I missed anything. And will I be in the hurricane path again? I'm not getting a direct impact from the hurricane as far as I know right now, but we are going to get outer bands and get a lot of wind and a lot of rain and flooding, and hopefully that's it. They aren't anticipating widespread power outages and water boil notices and cellular and Wi-Fi connection issues, but we'll see. But that's why I've decided to not schedule any more live streams for the rest of the week. I just don't want to add the extra pressure to myself. So this will be the last live stream this week, but as long as I have power, I will be shipping every day and answering emails and releasing videos and anything that I can online. I just am not going to pressure myself to do any live stream because I know that with the atmospheric pressure changes when there's a big storm coming, we have very spotty coverage. So let's see. Oh good, you were busy looking and listening too. Okay, that's great. Jane, hi Angela, hi Chrissy, hello, hi Donna, hi Thea, hi Lori, Marcia. I think I'm caught up on everybody that has said hello. That's great, Lori. Lori's been making patterns from my new crochet power books for holiday gift giving. That's awesome. You can't tell because the camera is stable inside the RV, but the wind is already making the RV do this. and we don't even have a lot of wind yet. The RV shook all night because of pretty steady wind, and it's nothing yet, but we'll see. It won't be the first storm that we've been through. And we do have a backup plan. If I think it gets too traumatic in the RV, we do have somewhere to go tonight if I think it makes more sense to take Bjorn somewhere else. I'm not worried about myself. I'm just worried about traumatizing Bjorn, that's all. Thanks, Lori. Thanks. We will definitely be safe no matter what. You know, I always have plans, and I always have a plan A, B, and C. Always have a backup plan, but the plan is to stay here and work until we can. It is what it is. So, did I mention that I'm working on Cocoon Shrug patterns right now too? And you know how sometimes when I release a pattern that's knit or crocheted, very often someone will say, can you do that exact same thing in the opposite craft? And you know, a lot of times you really can't do something exactly the same, but you can get a similar aesthetic. And so would you like to see the charts that I've been drawing for a first release of these? So I'll show you. I don't have the knit swatch yet, but I have the crochet swatch done where it has like these little floral motify things in the middle of the fabric, and it's offset. So if you look here on the charts that I've drawn, these are the complementary charts for both the knit and crochet Cocoon Shrugs. So there's the crochet one here, and then if you look over here, there's the knit lace chart. And the knit lace chart I'm still working on. I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger to actually match the crochet one. I feel like there's only 4 eyelets in the knit one so far, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 9 here. So the knit one is set up to just have like 1, 2, and 1, whereas the crochet one has 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And you know, I don't need them to be exactly the same, and I really like the way the knit one looks now. Worked over a multiple of 8 stitches and 16 rows. If I have to make it that much bigger, it will be more than a 16 row repeat. And the problem with a 16 row repeat, if you want to hear some design behind the scenes, is the fact that when you're sizing a project and also let me show you the schematics that I have so far for them. So I have the schematic drawn for 4 sizes, but the sizes each include 2 sizes. So the first size is extra small, small. The second size is medium, large, which is what I'm going to make for myself. It's a little oversized too. The third size is 1X, 2X, and then the fourth size is 3X, 4X. And so I have dimensions shared on here already for those 4 sizes. But the length difference between those sizes is 2 inches each. So if I'm doing a stitch pattern that has more than 16 row repeat, that's going to get a little funky when you're trying to adjust that for a size. Like I'd really like to have full motifs, not half motifs, as I'm doing those size changes. So with a 16 row repeat, and it's an offset pattern, hopefully you can see that. That means if I wanted to end on any one of those repeats, it could be an 8 row repeat for a half repeat. And that will probably work out fairly close for the estimated sizes so far. What happens is I originally size the schematic for a project, but then depending on the gauge of the actual yarn and the stitches, sometimes it ends up having to be a little altered from there. So for example, even in the crochet one, I did get started on, I did my swatch and then I did get started on it. I've got quite a bit of the rectangle done. However, what happens is based on your gauge and the number of rows that you're using, and the number of stitches you're adding, and with the stitch multiple, the sizing ends up being a little different. So the crochet stitch pattern is a multiple of 14 stitches, and I'm getting 2.5 stitches to the inch. So I thought I was going to do like a 3-inch. I thought I was going to do a 3-inch or 4-inch difference between the 4 sizes, and it ended up making more sense to make them 3-inch variances. And you know, it's okay. It's still going to be, it's still a fairly unstructured project, and it's still within the right shapes for the things that for the sizes that I want. But so it ends up being, when you're designing something, there ends up being a lot of modifying along the way, which is why there's so much room for error, right? The way you write something in a perfect scenario with just mathematics is pretty easy, right? But then you start, you know, altering things based on the real numbers. Some things, it gets hard to keep up on all of the edits. And that's just the beginning of a project. How are my mom and my son doing? They're doing okay. You know, doing okay. Yeah. I mean, Marlon's been through a lot, you know. He lost all his equipment for his brand new business in the hurricane. He lost his home in the hurricane. I no longer have space for him here. He's living with his friend's family right now. He's displaced, and they can't, you know, they just started a power washing business that would be a great business to have right now, but they lost all their equipment in Ian, and until the insurance replaces it, you know, they're out of luck. Anyway, everybody's in as good a spirits as they can be. Let's see. Yeah, Cocoon Shrugs are awesome. They're super easy to make because you make a flat rectangle of a fabric, and you can do them in so many different techniques. You can do it in knitting, in crochet, in Tunisian crochet. You can do it in motifs. You can do it in color work. So what's really nice is now that I have those schematics done, it'll be fun to do these types of projects in different weights of yarn and different techniques. So I'll be sharing more of the behind scenes with you as I go along, because I think it's going to be a really wonderful exploration in a number of ways. Number one, me showing you the behind the scenes, but also you can take any stitch pattern and apply it to the schematics. Once you download the pattern and you have my size schematics, you can use those too, and then go back to Crochet Power Book 1 and look at all of the stitch patterns in the even in rows section, where you just work back and forth in rows. Figure out the multiple based on your gauge to make the size rectangle that you need for whatever size you're making, and you can make those cocoon shrugs then in any of those 19 stitch patterns also. A stitch trick to get the cocoon to stay on your shoulders better. Not a stitch trick, excuse me, excuse me, not a stitch trick, but a seaming trick. If it's not staying on your shoulders, then it's too big. Whether you made the wrong size, whether you made your sleeve seams too short. Let's go back to that schematic so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so see how we, thank you, see how we take that rectangle and then we fold the short size to make those sleeves and create that opening in the middle for your body. So you would, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Let's see, apple plus sign. No, I can't do this backwards. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, shift apple plus sign, there we go. Okay, so let's look at the folded schematic. So when you're folding a rectangle, the dashed lines are the fold lines, and the solid lines are either the side edges or the seam. So here in this center is where your body would be. Your arm would be behind that arm seam, and then your hand would come out here in that little tiny oval. And so if your shrug is not staying on your shoulders, this area here is too wide. You could either sew up more of your shoulder or add a thicker collar in here, or make a different sized rectangle in the first place. Remember how I said I'm doing this in multiple sizes? I'm going to give you all the dimensions, give you a suggested bust size range for all of them, and I think what you'll discover with all of this is that size matters. Even in an unstructured piece like this, if it's got to sit on you, if it's got to hang onto your shoulders and actually sit on you, it's three-dimensional. When you make a flat fabric, it's two-dimensional. Size does not matter with a rectangular wrap or a flat shawl or a scarf, things like it. Well, they do, but not as important. But when it comes to something that has to three-dimensionally wrap over your body and stay, size becomes an issue. And so if you're having trouble getting into it, it's too small, whether it's too small because the sleeve seams are too tight or the rectangle is the wrong size. But if it's falling off your shoulders, it's too big. And you can adjust that either in making a smaller rectangle, or more specifically and much easier to fix, making a longer sleeve seam and making this opening in the middle narrower. Hopefully that helps. Let's see if I was able to answer that question. Can the Elsa pattern be made into a 2-point poncho? Do you mean a half hexagon? I'm going to guess that that's what you mean, Lori. And I'm guessing she's referring to one of the 19 stitch patterns in Crochet Power Book 1. And I do talk about that in the front matter of the book. If you got a chance to read, if you haven't had a chance to read all of that yet, I know it doesn't sound as exciting to read the front matter in a book as it does to read the stitch patterns and just get started. But I got to tell you, I put a lot of information in the front matter of all of my books, and you can glean a lot of information from it to not only take the book at face value, but even get more value out of it. And one of those is the fact that I talk about how you can do a half hexagon or a triangle from the increase in rows section, and also with the increase in round section, how you can not only do a 4-point square, but you could also do a 5-point, 6-point, 7-point, 8-point shape, so that you can do anything from a pentagram to an octagon as well. So there is some information on how to do that. And so the short answer is absolutely you can do that. I'm assuming when you say 2-point, you mean a half hexagon. And I'll pause for a minute and make sure that that is what you mean. Yay, I'm so glad you love it, Chrissy. You're welcome, Lori. Happy to help. All right, does anybody have any more questions? We'll wait and see if there's any more questions, and then we'll recap what we talked about today, so that if you didn't get a chance, go on over and watch that quick little video I released this morning for showing you all the amazing projects available in the Holiday Crochet Bundle that's 90% off this week. 45 patterns from 41 designers. There'll be a link to that in the video description, as well as in the comments. And if you just want to head over to my blog, I share more details about it there, and also you can learn more about the prizes and everything else that's available with it, including extra downloads. We talked about my sample sale today and all the benefits and all the perks of buying handmade and not making it yourself. And there'll be a link to the sample sale. And if you go to my website, it is the #1 top header link on my website for easy access to it. And I've been shipping daily, so you don't have to worry. Your orders will go out immediately when I get them. Same with books. If you want to buy books for anybody for the holidays, you can not only buy them for yourself, but you can buy them for someone else. There is a place to leave a note in the order, so if you want me to personalize and autograph the book to someone else besides you, you can leave that information there. I do that all the time for people, for gifts, and I do gift wrap each book in tissue paper with a little sticker. It's not elaborate gift wrapping, but it's something. Do I ship out of the US? I do. I do ship internationally all the time. Depends on what country you're in, whether or not we have shipping available. But yes, I do ship out of the US all the time. Hi Heidi, good morning. Hi Donna. Do I have a favorite crochet hook that I use? You know, I like all kinds of crochet hooks. I just happen to use my KO hooks that I still have from when I sold hooks. And these are ergonomic hooks. They're anodized metal with the ergonomic bamboo handles. I also share some other hooks on my Amazon shop. I share some bamboo hooks and some other metal ones in there. You know, you choose what works best for you. I'm not really picky. I like all kinds of hooks. I like all kinds of knitting needles and hooks, but I will say if you're new to any type of a craft, I do think working with bamboo or wood is a great place to start, because it warms up with your hands and warms up with your joints, and it also is meant for holding the yarn. It makes the yarn not too slippery. There's a little more texture to it. And I think they're really great for beginners, especially knitting needles. And what else? And I find some really great deals on Amazon, and that's why I share them. Because if somebody's new to a craft, that's generally when they're asking me what kind of tools to use. And so when you're new to a craft, I do think it's a good idea to stick with affordable products at first. If you decide to commit to staying with a craft, then I think it's a good idea to invest in better tools if they make you happier or make you more creative. Otherwise, you know, you've got to decide what works best for you. If you have any issues with arthritis or carpal tunnel stuff, I do know that a lot of people do prefer the ergonomic handles. And if your hooks do not have ergonomic handles, you can buy slip-on ergonomic handles for crochet hooks if that appeals to you also. If you're new to a craft, I am not going to be the person to tell you to buy expensive tools. I'm just not. It's never been my MO, and I don't, again, if you are experienced in your craft and better quality or more expensive tools bring you joy or make you more creative or craft better, then absolutely. And if that's the case, there are some amazing high-end tools out there. But if you're new to a craft, I think it's a good idea to use some really basic line products so that you don't break the bank. You have more money to spend on yarn then anyway, and just see if you even like it. Because what if you try a craft and it's not for you? Wouldn't it be better to spend $10 than spend $300? That's at least that's my thought anyway. Oh, we gotta do a little kitty shot. Look at that sweet baby. Where is he? Did I get him? There he is, sleepy deepy. Okay, does anybody have any other questions? Thanks, Joe. Yeah, Donna, you may want an ergonomic hook, or you may want an ergonomic handle or slip-on to go on your hooks. Both of those you can find in craft stores or on Amazon. And we can talk about that more in detail in future episodes too. I just want to make sure there aren't any other questions about anything we talked about today. And if you decide you have questions about anything we talked about today later on, always feel comfortable and welcome to come back to this video and leave your question or your comment in the comments. I get notified from those throughout the day, and I always reply to everybody. So no matter when you come up with a question from anything we talked about, always feel welcome to come back. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing if you like my content. I go live several days a week to answer questions and share and do demos, and I do tutorial videos every week too. So if any of this appeals to you, please consider subscribing to my channel and click that bell notification button next to the subscribe button so you can be first to know when I'm live and when I have a new video uploading at the moment. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and always feel welcome to share any of my videos with your friends or on other social media accounts. It never hurts to bring more craftiness and creativity into the world, and I would certainly appreciate the shout out anyway. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I will keep you updated about the storm. I'll be releasing new fun stuff, but we'll go live again on Monday. So I will talk to you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.